Have a drink at my show. Hey, hey, y'all. How y'all doing today? This is Let's Be Real, Generation to Generation with D and Ree, well, with Marita. But we are here today. Most of all, I'm glad that my husband decided to join me, which he does whatever I ask him to do. That's the power that we have as us women. But they have power over us too, women, and you know that too. But we come to you today just to speak to you on marriage. I've seen that just listening to the different classes I've been and the shows I've been, our people, the generation don't even think about marriage no more. I don't know if it's because of where they come from or how they was brought up, or I mean, just you could just join in, honey. Like where they come from, how they was brought up, or them watching their own parents when they was married, or watching somebody else's marriage, or just the things that they seen in life. Sometimes that hinders people from getting married. So you have to choose your own battles. You have to choose your own ways. You have to choose your own roads. You can't look at other people and their situations and then turn around and say that's how yours is going to be, because it's always a different story. Everybody always have a different story. So I use the word cord because nobody uses that anymore a lot. In that three chord marriage, you always need that third chord, and that third chord is the father. And by the way, it is Father's Weekend. Woo woo to all our fathers. I thank my husband, yeah, for being a father, a grandfather, a husband, a son, a brother. He's all the above. He's a friend in need. I watch him be all the above all at once, y'all. So I am married to the kingpin. They call him the OG, and then he has his own thing called D's Birds and Bees, the comedy. You might see it sometimes on the YouTube or on Facebook. It might pop up, but you can always see it on YouTube. He do have shows on there. But I salute you to all your fathers who have been there, who have changed their mind and chosen to come and be with their kids. Whose mothers have pushed the fathers away, and the fathers that want to be in their life. Yeah, it's a lot of reasons that fathers are not around. It's not just because they don't want to be around, but I know it's a lot of reasons. But and those that be trying to get them for child support, and then the father is still in their life with the child support. But those who don't take care of their kids, yeah, you're supposed to pay child support. That's supposed to be a thing that you want to do because it helps you. It helps your child to come up in a better life, or they just gonna keep living in the generational curses, heredity trends that I've been talking about, and turning to other people for love. So, yep, it's Father's Day week. I say Happy Father's Day to my father, God, who is in heaven, our sustainer, our creator, who has brought us together. And we've been married for 31 years. And yes, we do have an empire. We got two boys. We got two beautiful, we have two handsome young men. We have two beautiful young ladies. And then we have three grandbabies, two girls and a boy. So yes, we have our empire. And only way we was able to stay together is because of that third chord, that God. He pray on his own, I pray on my own, and then we pray together, and we pray together as a family. I send out scriptures for my family. I tell them when we praying, I tell them when we doing fasts, but it's all about that cord, that braided cord. And we don't talk about that. We talk about jumping the broom, and we talk about other things, but we don't talk about that third cord that actually keeps our marriage together. So I'm gonna give you the meaning of the third cord. The third cord of three strands. It's always three strands. Represents God, the groom, and the bride. The joining of one man, one woman in God in marriage. By keeping the Lord at the center of your relationship, our trials, our tribulations, our bridges that we got to cross, our we have to grow together. So those things are, I'm not his mother and he's not my father. So we have to be able to cross those bridges when he's doing something I don't like, or I'm doing something that he don't like, with those bridges. But if you keep God as your third core, then you're going to grow and bind together more as you continue. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a process. I said we've been married for 31 years, y'all. Maybe 32, 31.
It's 31.
It's 31. Okay, yeah. Because our oldest boy, I think he's 33. We got one 32, then 31, then 26. Yep. And she's our baby. Threefold means spiritual, physical, and financially. This is all in the threefold cord. This is that braided cord. And when I read about the threefold cord, I don't understand why they don't put these in the marriages anyway, because with the cord, it is three cords and it's on a ring, and the cord is braided into like a braid, and it's the bride that's braiding it. And when I looked at that, I said it's always the woman who's stirring the pot to keep the family together. It's and like they had the woman braid in the braid, and then when it unraveled, that's when the third party came in, and that was God. So yeah, they should have those in the marriages. I don't understand why they don't have that, but it talks about it in the Bible about the threefold cord, but it's something that they don't put out there. Yeah. And if they did, they would know the meaning of those braids being braided together, because it's going through trials, your tribulations, what better and worse, sick and better health and good strength, poor or rich, is braiding all, and you're seeing all those things within that braid. But then what about if they sick and that mate don't want to be there, or if they go poor, or the husband or the mate lose their job, then how you act? Like that's that threefold cord that Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, that you have to go pray to when you need your peace and your patience and you don't understand where you at. That's that threefold cord, and we have always kept him as our cord, no matter what in our life. I mean, you don't have to be perfect to keep God as your threefold cord. So when you that's getting married or thinking about getting married or divorced, or been married several times and you don't know why, maybe it's because you forgot to put that third cord in your marriage to be able to keep it together. And you can't just do it with the marriage. You got to do it in the relationship with your kids, your mate, it's an ongoing process. You was going to say something?
Yeah, it's just work. It's just work. You got to first off make sure that you're definitely compatible, enjoy being with each other every day. Spending time with each other every day. You want to take care of each other every day. You know what I'm saying? Can't live without each other type of deal. Something to that effect. But it's definitely work. Anybody who's been married any number of years will tell you that, because every day ain't peaches and cream. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you have to figure out where your boundaries are. You know what I'm saying? When each one needs their space or their time. You know what I'm saying? Plus you got your own natural little things that go on within your body as a male, as a female. Females monthly. You know what I'm saying? Males too dang near. But you definitely want to communicate. Communication is key, and then before you take that big step, you want to make sure that y'all definitely want to, work towards something. Marriages have to have goals too. Not only do you have to have individual goals, you have to have together goals. Family goals, things of that nature. I was listening to a pastor just this past Sunday, and he let us know that other countries over in the Orient, they have 100-year plans, and we don't have a plan past 5-6 years.
Well, usually 3. Some people done got married and mad, and that ain't who they wanted to marry. They ain't who they wanted to marry, or they done got, or the person they done set them up with. Like now, those arranged marriages, the people that's done got set up with them, they really have to learn each other. They ain't dated, they ain't did nothing. But in America, you learn each other, and then because, let me see, what's the reasons they get married today? Well, some just not to be alone. Hopefully you get married because you're in love. Some is because that person got this money and I don't want to work no more and he can take care of me. That's number one. That's wrong, y'all. That's going to cause a lot of conflict. Then you have those that get married because it's something you're supposed to do according to what your parents have said. And now you in a marriage that you don't even want to be in. So it's a lot of things when it comes to marriage. And if you want it to last a long time, you want to make sure that's your mate. And you making sure it's your mate, because it's like when we met, we was at a skating rink. Okay. I wasn't looking for nobody. Damien came and approached me. Ain't that right? Let me say it right.
Yeah, we met, but then fast forwarding to the marriage part, we dated for a little bit, and then
talk a little louder.
Got married, and then as we got married, or was on our way to marry, I guess, I don't know. I don't think you wanted to be married, but at that time, we were still kind of young, still trying to, find our way, and get our finances together. Then back then, it was a different time than now. Now, you got different little values that you got to put in play before you get married. Back then, we had others, we still are similar, not the same, but similar, So definitely, we got married because we wanted to do the right thing. We didn't want to live in sin and fornication, So, that's part of it too, But then, once you get married, then, and that was your mate and that's somebody you wanted to marry, then you good to go. I always knew I wanted to be married as a young fella. And then I always knew I wanted to marry somebody that was, kind of fresh off the press. I didn't want to get nothing that was tainted, if I could be real, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't,
Okay, then. And he always tell everybody I got her when she was in Pampers. And he really do feel that way, like,
And me and your mom raised you.
Yep, y'all raised me. My father, he wasn't in the picture. And he wasn't in his picture. But the good thing is that he learned as a man on his own to turn to God for answers. And that's why we always say that third core, because he's your friend, he's your best friend, he's your father, and he's the same thing to me too. So you got to learn how to go to him for your answers when you need peace, because men don't understand us all the time. They simple. Men are simple. I always say they simple. So women, we come with a whole bunch of extra, and they just more like 1, 2, 3, and we like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when we get that away, their thing is like, all right, we gonna just step back and let you do it. But at the same time, men are what you call our protectors, our providers. I don't know how y'all generation look at them today, because I think everybody look at everybody as being equal. Yeah, we're equal, but we still have our roles as a husband and a wife. If you get married being equal, then who's got the wife of the husband, and who's got the role of a wife? And I say that because I've learned that I can hear the men today. Well, we don't know who the person is anymore because they got these wigs on, they got these they put a lot of eyelashes on, they eyebrows, they you can see everything. They reveal everything. It's nothing a surprise to a man anymore. So if that's out there freely and you're at home and you're not being the wife that you're supposed to be, like I said, we all have our roles, then that's when you allow temptation to come in. That's why I say we all have our roles. You have your role as a husband and you have your role as a wife, and you want to make sure. Okay, let's put it like this. When I was in Texas, the man said, I heard somebody say the other day, happy wife, happy life. And I said it because women, we are nurturers. So we are automatically going to make sure everything in the household is taken care of. That man is taken care of. Them kids is taken care of. Our parents. We just nurturers. We automatically. So with men, if we're married to them or they are mate, and they don't, the little things that we ask for, like affection or little things, communication, sometimes it's hard for them to do that. Or think of something that we ask for that it's hard for y'all to do.
I got a whole lot of things, that I can go into it. I'm just waiting,
Just go into it.
What, specifics,
Yes,
we can go into
just go
specifics.
into it. Yeah, just go into it.
First and foremost, what was I going to say? I had something on my mind that I was thinking when you said, because you said a lot, you covering a lot, but a buddy of mine, not changing gears a lot, but, like I said, me and her got married back in the day in a different time. So, they used to mold and shape and sculpt the lady to go out and look for a certain type of man. And then they used to mold and shape and sculpt the man to be a certain type of man. You know what I'm saying? But I never heard of them molding and shaping and sculpting the lady. So a buddy of mine, you know, he ran something by me the other day that it was posted on Facebook, as far as, you know, they always tell you, you know, men tell other men and teach other men how to be a man, how to treat a lady. Let's treat a lady this way, treat a lady that way, how to treat her right. But you don't ever really hear a lot of promotion about how they teaching women how to treat a man. You know what I'm saying? Because men need to be treated well too. One time I can think of a little scenario as you get deep in your marriage, you know, you get to certain things to like where I told the wife, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, a brother like me want old teddy bear, old flyer too. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm pull up in here. I'm spending all my cheese on flowers and candies and this. Shoot, I got a sweet tooth. I need old teddy bear. So, you know, when you find out if a person really checking you out and listening and they care about your needs, you know, because that's what it's about, caring about each other's needs. So if they care about your needs, I say about a week or two later, I fell off in the house and boom, damn, I seen old singing flower. And it was for daddy, you know. I was like, oh, I said, she heard me. You know, I seen old gorilla in there holding a heart, talking about, I love you. I said, oh, yeah, I'm back in the game now, baby. You know, so, you know, you got to communicate. You got to throw things out there. So, like I say, you know, definitely got to have some likes and wants and different things that you have about individuals that they like and that you desire. You can't just look on the outside. You know, you got to see what's in on the depth. Like I got another roadie. He done ran across some thoroughbred ladies out there. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him lose his whole wallet. And his female friends pull up and say, hey, man, what you need? You know, we got you till the next payday, and not no 50, 60. You know, they pull up and lay some bill money on him. You know what I'm saying? Some rent money. You know what I'm saying? So those type of people that you run, you want those type of friends too. But even though when you find those type of, when you're looking for a mate, and a mate is doing things like that, and already before you even get married, that makes you wonder, hey, how far can we go together as one? Like she said earlier, when we find somebody that we evenly yoked, you know what I'm saying, or equally yoked and got the same goals and desires, and we have fun together. We do the same things. We like to explore different things. I want to come into her world. She want to come into mine, or vice versa with whoever your mate is, you know. So definitely that's something.
So
if I'm making sense.
Yep, that made a lot of sense.
If I ain't, you know, going off the mark of what she's saying, but this is kind of like a little introduction to the, you know, the little couples thing. I'm sure she probably bring it around again. She kind of threw this on me on the fly.
I threw it on you last week. I got to tell him things 2 weeks in advance.
Then I got in the doghouse. You know, you still getting the doghouse after 31 years of marriage. Right. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I still got some things that I kind of want to throw out there to the judge. You know, we need that mediator here and there. You know, you got to go. You got to have some mentors that you pull up on. Because like, hey, Dick, I can get you through the first 31. But after that, you're on your own. You know what I'm saying? Because trust me, OG has definitely rode this train, baby.
Yes, we have rode this train, y'all. And we have, like he said, it has not been easy. It's been bumpy roads, but because of that third chord, we know how to pray. We know how to go ask God. And then we start learning how to have common sense. You know, like if he say something, well, yes, I'm going to hear you. And I'm going to ask God to help me in that area that I'm weak in. If I say something, hopefully he's going to ask God to help him in the area that he's weak in. But when God hears that, that's that third chord bringing you all together. And that's how we last 31 years. Yep, I get mad. He get mad. We go off. We sleep in other rooms. We do all that. It's nothing that's perfect in a marriage, but that's just like when you're trying to grow with Christ. It's nothing perfect. That's why I keep telling you, you don't have to be perfect to get to know him. It's like we getting to know each other. That's how it is when you're going to get to know him, except he's going to have more control because he's got all the power and all the spirit. I want to read a scripture for you that you can read on with your mate or to keep in your marriage to help you to grow in areas that you're weak in. It says 2 are better than 1. Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. Because they have a good reward for their efforts. It's for your efforts. And then don't be doing it just because you're trying to put on a pretty face. Now, that's the worst kind of marriage. Because when you get home, all you're doing is bigger and you fighting, you at each other's throat. And and my husband always say, I love when he say this, life is designed to be happy. And it is. Even if you see yourself coming home bicker and arguing all the time, and then there's something wrong. And when y'all talk about it and nobody, one person here and they choose to do something different and change their way, but the other person still acting the same way. Then where do you go with that? So marriage is compromise. It's not, it's compromise and hearing and changing. You should want to change anyway for the better, And then I could tell everybody, don't get with your mate, build your mate up, and then give them away. They don't learn how to speak to the woman, how to treat the woman, how to or the man. Either way, I don't put it on one or the other because we both have a role. It's not just one way. Another thing is for it either falls. I said one, because they have a good reward for their efforts, and that's just us going through our trials, our tribulations, our bridges, everything that we go through in a marriage. For if either falls, his companion can lift him up. Now, that means when they down and depressed and they see that you hurt, one or the other is going to find a way to do something to comfort you. Now, if you don't have that mate that do that and choose for it to be just in your household, then of course you're going to always have tension and stress and always arguing and bickering. You don't want that. You really want that third cord, because God, you can go say anything. Men, when you don't know how to communicate, the one thing you can do is sit down and talk to God, and you just talk to him like he's your father. Like I said, He didn't have his father. I didn't have my father. We learned how to be husband and wife with the cord. Our third cord is who taught us, who kept us together, and that love that we have for each other. It's real love. It's in love. It's not just I love you, because you got to be in love with a person to still be with them for 31 years. Now, if you with a person just because you love them, you missing out on life. I'm just going to be real with you, because being in love is totally different than just loving somebody. Being in love take you through different levels and heights of a marriage. It makes you change, switch up, do things, want to be there for all things. Now, if you just love that person, you just there. If they come home, it's okay. If they don't come home, that's even better. Now, that's a waste of time. You might as well get somebody that's gonna make you happy and be there for you, like you're gonna be there for them.
Right. You don't want to marry for comfortability or your livelihood. You want to definitely, like I said, be compatible. Enjoy each other, want to come into each other's world, want to explore each other's world and teach each other different and new things, so that y'all come together and make yourselves a whole one. You know what I'm saying? A whole one person. You'll start saying me, and then the other one to understand it's we. You know what I'm saying? So right. You definitely want to do that. And go from there. And I got a good couple that we're gonna have next time she does a marriage thing. I'm gonna bring some friends on so y'all can hear from them, and we can kind of get loose and really talk about some in-depth things, some real stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is about, being real, and going into depths and seeing what it takes to really make it and make it work out here, because you want a happy home, you want a happy life, a happy home. Life's designed to be happy. I always say it, I grew up miserable. I grew up hungry, all that old jazz. Nobody want to hear that sad song. We trying to make it happen, baby. Because as long as you got breath in your body and strength in your bones, it ain't never too late to do nothing or get something, So you got to just go for it. You're as young as you feel, Right. So that's definitely what you want to do. So like I said, 31 years of marriage, happily married, proud, you know what I'm saying? It ain't, and other people will tell you, and people that's been married longer than us will let you know, it ain't all cake and candy all the time, you know what I'm saying? But hey, majority of the time it is.
The good outweighs the bad. Yes.
The majority of the time it is,
The good outweighs the bad.
I can definitely testify to that. So moving forward,
the reason I talk about the 3 cord is because when we talked about that 1 to 2 is better than 1, it's because when one is down, the other one can be able to lift the other up. It says another. Also, if 2 lie down together, they can keep warm. Now that's even when you mad and you go into another room, it's just the presence of you still being there it still makes us where we're still comfortable. And we know that we still there and we can overcome that obstacle. It's about obstacles, overcoming your obstacles, overcoming your issues, being able to come together and talk. And women, I'm gonna tell you something. We as women, we always have to get the last word. And I've learned that the last word, it don't help. It just keep accumulating. So because when you learn that men, it take them about 3 days to allow things to sink in after y'all done spoke, because you looking for an answer right now, and we be ready to go off because we don't hear that answer right now. So we gotta even take our parts and our roles in the way that we do things, and because we can be that person that push them too, push them to those levels, and they trying to be like, okay, yeah, and then you like, well, you don't care because you don't hear me. Well, me, I had to learn myself because I go to God, because I sit with Him, and okay, you don't say something now, shut up and let me work, and let's see what He gonna do. Next thing I know, he be done went, prayed, I done been quiet, and he come back around just like God says He's gonna come back around, because you chose to be quiet and let the situation work, and you're not trying to work it out yourself. Because we don't understand them all the time because of the way that they communicate. But by the time God get through finished with them and they come back around, guess what? We both understand each other because we gave each other time to rest or to get away or to think about the things. And you need that time. So when two are together and they keep each other warm, that's in all things. That's in when they down, they having a bad day on the job. Oh, if your mate is having a bad day on the job, what's your outcome when they come in the house? Especially if you're a housewife. I used to be a housewife, and I used to talk to women that they men come home and their house ain't clean and they ain't got no food and the kids ain't being washed up. And I never understood that, because that's them roles again. That's them roles again. Like if he out and making sure that your household is taken care of, you don't have to worry about nothing when it has to come out of your pocket. Then why can't come home to a house where he can lay down and be comfortable? And then you wonder why they don't come home. Well, if you come home to a dirty house and there ain't no food there, and you got ching ching and cha cha over here talking about, well, I cooked over here and I did this and that, then that's you. We all got roles to play. I hear men today, y'all think they don't want y'all to be at home and still cooking and cleaning up and looking cute when they come home and in your little bitty stuff. And just like men, y'all, them roles are still there. But if you're not putting them into action or actually weighing on them each other, then it's not your work. It's right. Your marriage is not going to work. It's going to be dead and ain't going to have no life to it. It's not going to thrive. So you got to keep that third cord, because that person that you with, or that you were designed to be with, or that you married with, hopefully that's who you're supposed to be with, because some of us just go get our mates and then dump them. Like, okay, then you older and you want to know why you've been married 5 times, because you're not getting with them for the right reason. You ain't getting because you in love. You getting with them because, oh, she got a bad body, or, oh, he look good, he got that look. Well, what happens when you get behind closed doors and you see their real attitude? I'm married to a Gemini. My husband got I call him all the time. I be like, okay, look, number 2, I don't want to deal with number 2 right now. Number 1, it's just different personalities. So
just one person, Zach.
But yep, that's right. But I still love him, and I know each one. I know him like he knows me. But if you can't stick with your marriage and that person, then y'all might want to go on and wait on God and get yourself together. And that's why it always, when God's saying, "If I'd rather you be by yourself," that's because He can mold you and shape you into who we want you to be. And then when it's time for you to be married, y'all will be equally yoked. Y'all will be ready. You both can come together as one to the table with both of your roles. And you do got women out here that want to play the man's role. I don't know why. They don't do nothing but bring more stress, and then their role is really a little bit more than what ours is. So I don't know why you would want to wear a size 12, 13, 14 shoe. I don't 9, 8, whatever size you wear. I don't know why women would want to walk into the men's shoes. That's not something that I would desire to do. But I can tell you that walking in our shoes, you're less stressful. And as long as you're doing your wifely roles now. If you ain't doing your wifely roles, then no, you're not going to have a happy relationship. Now, if you're single, that's another story.
I don't know. I can't tell you about single. I can get you through them 31, baby.
If you're single, that's
I'm the hype man.
No, the person you're gonna be warm with, hopefully, is Christ. Hopefully, you get closer to Him so that He can get you together. So that when it is time to get with somebody, you're not just getting with anybody because you going off of your emotions or how you feel or how they think at this time. What you say, honey? Give them 3 years to get to know somebody.
Yeah, a lot of times, I don't know, back in my dating time, 31 odd years or more back, you knew what a person was about in about 90 days. I don't know if that's still true now, but it seems to be, because I got a lot of partners out there that tell me it seems to be. You done met the whole family and ran through the individual in about 90, and then y'all broke up in about 6 months. See, so that's kind of crazy, but you got to definitely get to know a person, and then even after you get married, if you get married and you find that one, and then y'all don't have any children, you want to enjoy each other for a few more years, and then start your family, your kingdom, and build it, your empire and everything to that nature. So like I said, it's so much with marriage. I love it. It's wonderful. Everybody should experience love, being in love, and have someone love you as a mate, as a helpmate. You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of love out there, but I'm talking about your husband and wife togetherness, love, that love right there. So that's awesome within itself. So definitely moving forward. What you got?
When you was talking about, I like when you was talking about how some of the parents, I heard that too when I talked to a lot of different women, how you raise they like, I'm raising her for a husband. I didn't raise my daughters for a husband. I didn't. I raised them to be them. I raised them to get to know who they are. I raised them to, you still gonna clean up. You're still gonna be clean. You're still gonna be you. And me as a wife, they see me as a wife how I do with their dad, their father. So I didn't raise them to get married. I don't understand why women do that, because then they forget about themselves, because now you don't put it in their head from when they little that I got to do this for the man, I got to do that for the man, I got to be this way for the man. No, you just need to learn how to be you, and then that man has to be compatible to you, not you making sure that you right for him, because when y'all come together, you're gonna be right anyway. You're gonna it's gonna opposites is gonna attract. Sometimes they not gonna want to do what you want to do. For a long time, Damien didn't. He don't really like to go out. He don't like to fly. He don't like to ride the boat. That makes him sick. So I had to go get the Dramamine. That's me just thinking of things. Now, no, I didn't do like my sister-in-law, give him like 3 of them and make my brother go into a compulsion. But I just gave him one 3 days before we left. These are just different things that we do to make sure that, like I said, happy life, happy wife. Y'all, we gonna do what we supposed to do as nurturers for our marriage anyway.
It's the other way around.
He said it's the other way. Yeah, happy wife, happy life. We're gonna do what we supposed to do for our marriages anyway, and then we learn from each other. And the only reason I say that about the happy wife and happy life is because we have some men out here that are really strong in who they are and their egos, and don't want to bend for the mate, or don't think that she need this, or that woman who has this ego and don't think that man need that. Well, y'all together to grow together in all things, not just some. You became one. I love when he always say, me, I'm talking about us, and I'll be like, no, you said me, and he'll be like, no, wife, I'll be glad when you get it together. I'm talking about us. So we have to all learn communication. The key, like we always say, the bedroom. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I remember back in the day when we was married, and Damien, he loves God. I love God too. I love God through his word, not through people. And the evangelists and everybody was coming to him with these papers, saying, you can't do this in the bedroom while you married, and you can't do that in the bedroom while you married, and you can't do this in the bedroom. And I looked at him and I was like, they are so wrong. They need to be condemned, because the bedroom is sacred and undefiled. And he was like, well, wife, they gave me, I don't care about that. I care about what the Bible say. So that's why you got to keep the Lord as your 3 core, because people will mess your marriage up, trying to come in and tell you what they think they should do. But it's only you, the mate, and God. But when you start listening to other people, especially people that's not married or have not been married for 31 years can get you through the first 31 years. And you talking to somebody that's been married for 3 years or been married 6 times, then I don't really know what they can tell you because they're doing just the same thing, expecting different results. That's
And a lot of times, you know, you don't have to get married so much if, you know, see, a lot of times, you know, we fail to work at something. And then, too, we fail to do our leg work in the beginning. You know, you got to do it in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you know, you can peep them red flags, you know. You already know when they psycho or when she's psycho or, you know, what's really going on, you know. That same fly outfit that they showed up in, you know, you like, hold up, you know, they got 3, 4 fly outfits, but the ride is, you know, on E, or, you know, the hubcaps are flying off or it's running hot. They need a ride or something, you know, you get them red flags. But all you got to do is pay attention. That's it. Just pay attention. You know what I'm saying? If you pay attention and let go and let God and keep him first, you know, he'll bless you with somebody that, you know, loves you for you and you love them for them. And then he going to let y'all grow together because you keep him first. And that's what it's all about. Like the wife said, we keep him first and we allow him to work on us individually and together. And then as a family, you know, once you start building that family and that kingdom, you know, you got to bring everybody in all together and sit down and show them this is how we do it. You know what I'm saying? And we call on God because you got to teach your children and everyone who to call on when they can't get a hold of uncle, auntie, dad, mom, grandparents. You know, God, he's the one. He's there. He's waiting on you just to say, hey, Lord. And he's like, yeah, he's right there. He ain't went nowhere. Even when you think he's gone and you say he left you, he ain't never left you. You left, you know, you left him. You know what I'm saying? He's just sitting there hovering, waiting on you. I remember at a time in my life, I was clowning, you know, that's a whole nother story, but I was clowning, you know, just taking things for granted and this, that, and the third. And then when I got a rude awakening, I was like, Lord? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. He was right there, Jack. But that's a whole nother story. You know, we're going to stay on marriage. You did. So, but like I said, you know, definitely be happy.
Yeah.
Find you someone you love being with and, you know, you want to build a life with and a lifelong plan. And, you know, y'all going to build a kingdom because y'all going to be at the top of the family tree one day. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I'm seeing within these years of marriage and having that longevity, you know, that history. You know, that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And like they always used to say, you know, you see D,
you see Reed.
You see Reed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You just lean around. Okay, cool. That's what's happening. So definitely enjoy marriage. Find a mate to marry, and you know, just live life and be happy and keep God in it and keep him first. Let him do it. He gonna do it anyway. You gonna know it's gonna be right because you're gonna all be as one. It's gonna line up.
That's right. That's right. Okay, let me say some more. The 3-strand cord. To make a cord, they must intertwine and compromise. And that's what I mean when I say intertwine. Like, I'm going to tell y'all, compromise right now, this is a new experience for both of us. My hot flashes. Like, my husband, like, he be in, he have a hat on his head. He have this pajama pants. Sometimes he had this big shirt on. And then sometimes I get hot. And then we got to take his clothes off. And I didn't even know he was going to talk about this on his comedy show. Y'all can see him on YouTube. It said, these birds and bees, you can see his clips. But just to hear him talking about how the things that they go through as men, like I said again, they go through things too with us in different levels. Like, that's them showing that they still love us. You know, they not, I mean, yeah, we joke a lot, but guess what he always say? When you come to bed, I still need you in the bed. You know, that's just that love shown full blown, no matter what, being in love. Any other man would be like, oh, I ain't going to do this. You better figure something out, this and this and that. But no, he still makes sure that I'm taken care of when he could just be cussing me out and kicking me out the room altogether. So it depends on you. It's a lot of stuff that's in marriage. Man, you want to name some? It's so much things. I can see our actions and how we act. You can speak one thing and then do another. Or the way that you got that person in the marriage. Y'all was dating, y'all was doing this, y'all was doing that, and now you done been married for 3 or 4 years and you're not doing nothing and you want to know what's wrong. Well, you know, that's them 3 years he was talking about, getting to know a person. Like, well, if somebody can act that long for 3 years, then they really wanted you just to be at home, just to know that was there, especially if they switch, turn around, and then you're not doing nothing. Okay, something wrong with this picture. And they going and you're gonna be able to communicate, and that person, you should be able to talk to them and they hear you. It might take a few days, like I said, and they should be able to come around and then they make the change. Now, if you're in a marriage and y'all keep and the same thing keep going on and going on and going on, and ain't nobody trying to make a change, then y'all something wrong. Y'all, you either not praying or it's just not, that's just not what you're supposed to be in at that time. Or you have to go to therapy and ask God and therapists how to work this out. We went to therapy before, and Damien was really honest. I was honest. We learned a lot. We learned about our voices, how we carry them, our octaves, how we say things, how we speak to people. Because you could be saying things in one way, and if you say it in a higher octave, then yeah, of course, we're going to take it in that higher octave, and then we're going to act like you.
And I wanted to add too, because this is the second time that came to mind, because you said that counseling and everything. You know, when got a church home, you know what I'm saying? A church home is very important, you know, Bible-based church home. And then, you know, they got classes for married couples. You know, they always got the single time, and then they got the married time, you know, even if you ain't got nothing going wrong in the marriage, you know, so you feel, or the mate feel, or y'all agree together, you still go. It don't hurt to go get more tools and more fundamentals and get knowledge, you know, to enhance your marriage and to make it better, or to find out what not to do to dodge, you know, that craziness or this, that, and the third. And then, because you, like I say, when y'all don't do the research and get evenly yoked before y'all get together, then you start building a family. Then you got the kids jacked up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you got to start bringing everybody in and sitting them down and getting things right, because it does affect. I came from a divorced family, you know what I'm saying? And my mother had to raise us, you know, pops, you know, back in the day, they do their thing, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And some fathers more so now step up to the plate than before. Even I was one, you know. But with that said, you know, the kids are definitely affected, you know what I'm saying. And in the Black American home, a lot of the youngsters don't get the counseling that they need. They do in other homes and stuff like that, but they don't get it in the Black American home. And then, you know, and it's much needed, you know what I'm saying. You know, that's why, you know, you got to have that mentorship. You got to talk to people. You got to communicate. Even as a hurting parent, you know, when y'all going through something, you still have to go in there and discuss it with your children and bring them in, especially when they're old enough to understand. Now, they ain't old enough to understand, but they see something going wrong, and you kind of give them a little description in a way that they understand. You know, you just play it by ear. Like I always talk to my kids and dealt with my children at their maturity level and their age bracket. So, you know, if that would help anyone out there, you know, like I say, you know, I can get you through a few things. Not all, but, you know, just ask some advice on what not to do and what may help and what helped in my situations.
Right. And then
just to add to it.
Communication, that's the key.
But definitely, I want to say, yeah, definitely get with those counselings, you know what I'm saying? Find out what not. Read, get that knowledge, get those books, you know what I'm saying? Find out what it is, you know, that you may be missing before you missing it. So you won't have to miss it. You know what I'm saying? I got a buddy, a good little road dog. He hit me with I told him, he was like, yeah, man, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. Because, you know, and he hit me with that because I hit him with an old saying. I'm like, yeah, man, I was born ready. Oh, man, that's old, man. You still back in the day. He said, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. So that's what I'm saying, y'all. Let's get ready. You know, let's stay ready so we don't have to get ready. You know.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. We're talking about marriage. We're talking about being single. We're talking about marriage and family. It's important. You know, it's a lot that we can, oh gosh, it's so much to marriage. In a marriage, you got to be a friend. We friends. We're best friends. I talk to him about everything. Even after I'm mad at him, I still come and talk to him what I was mad at him about. And he do the same thing with me. That's best friends.
And that gets stronger more so down the road as you get them years under your belt. You know what I'm saying? That's when as different people start to fall off of your life and things of that nature, and friends get older and different life scenarios happen. That's when that thing really get chain locked in with the padlock and the key. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see that padlock and that key. Yep, that means something. That means that 3 chord you locked in, like you locked in. Y'all locked in. Nothing can come between y'all. And that's when they say it's better for two to be together, because if things come against you, you can even sit down and pray together against it. And when you pray together, y'all can watch it cease. You can pray together about your family. You can pray together about your issues. You can pray together about your work life. And then us as women, we automatically pray. Those who believe in God and those who don't believe in God, y'all should get to know Him, because He is your Savior. He's your counselor. He's your guide. He's gonna teach you. He's gonna help you, and He's gonna keep you in your relationships on how to keep them, as long as you marry the right one and not just anybody. It was something you said that I wanted to come back on. Um, he said a lot. I could say, if God's law is truly within us and our inward parts, such gratitudes as faith, hope, and love will be displayed and will help nourish the marital bond. Um, when it talks about in 1 Timothy 5:8, it talks about how to treat the wife. And then it turns around and it talks about the wife have to be submissive to the husband. Well, when it talks about treating the wife, and it talks about the man's ways and how they the protector and they are overseer and they the ones who make sure that everything is okay. It's just like we make sure everything's okay internally, they make sure everything's okay eternally. So it's like you it says, you husband, keep on loving your wives and do not be bitterly angry with them. Bitterly angry, bitter with using bitter words or blows, like hitting them, or words like bitch, or I mean, my husband, he can cuss. I don't really try to cuss. I don't cuss unless I'm really, really, really mad.
Y'all don't want to tear each other down.
Yeah, you don't want to tear each other down, because that's not gonna. Whatever you say, remember, they're gonna carry that. They're going to carry that in their subconscious. I talked about the subconscious, unconscious, and the conscious mind. Y'all can go back and look YouTube and look at that. But they're going to carry that as that subconscious when y'all come with your bitter words, or if you come with that blow. But women, you got to remember your words too, because we have harsh words that could be said. And then some of us are not trained to even be quiet because of the relationships that we saw coming up. I saw my grandparents where my grandmother was always the one who had something to say, but we changed that. When we saw that and they put us in the middle of their arguments, we'd be like looking at each other like, well, we better go on and get up out of here. We didn't want that type of relationship. We wanted a relationship that that we enjoy, because life is too short to be sitting with somebody that's blowing on you, beating you up, tearing you down, and not building you up. All you doing is wasting time. You wasting time in life, because God has so much better for you. And when he was talking about therapists, that's what I wanted to say. Be careful who you do have therapy for you. I'm gonna tell you, we went to a Christian one, but it was a white man. We went to a Christian therapist, but it was a white man, because when I didn't know a lot of pastors was doing a lot of things until I started like getting older and things would start being revealed. So go to a Bible-based church. Make sure your pastor love his wife and his wife love him, and they are teaching you the right ways of being married, and not trying to tell you what to do in your bedroom, but trying to teach you how to communicate at the same time. So all that is important in the marriage. It's the 3rd chord is the healthiness of your marriage. That's what's going to keep it healthy. You don't want to be unbalanced. Like she always doing something and he's not, or he's always the one that's doing it, or she's not. Damien cooks breakfast. He cooks Mother's Day for dinner. He cleans up. He goes to work. He do everything. I do the same thing, and we work together. But I do more of the cooking. It's when he feel like cooking, But I still be that wife. I still do my wifely duties.
So with that said, with the cooking and the cleaning and all that, a lot of people are molded and shaped to be able to take care of themselves. So what I feel on that is, a helpmate is wanted. It ain't needed. It's wanted.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you want to have love, you want to have companionship, and you want to grow together and build something with someone and share it, and that's awesome. So it's definitely wanted, you know what I'm saying? Is it needed? It probably is needed, just because of how things are and how we are as a human. But, a human can just be. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Well, that's
right.
why we at the top of the food chain, because we can just be. We
That's
can
right.
just exist.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else has to do what it's born to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's
if
right.
that makes sense to anyone.
That was a good one. Um, just remember that it wasn't our parents who taught us how to be married. It was the third court, and we prayed and we wanted to be married. And I was in love, and I love him, and I wanted to stay married. So we did what we had to do to keep the marriage going, and with our children, and with our grandkids. We don't separate them. We don't. Um, we treat them all the same. Like there's no difference. We talk to them the same. We discipline them the same. All the above. There's neither one of them are different. So it all comes with the territory. Our parents. My mother-in-law was something else. Our whole marriage. But this year we all was able to do a family trip. So you just never know how God works when.
Yeah, the Lord works in mysterious ways. You gotta, let the Lord work. You know what I'm saying? When you ask him to take care of it, then you let him take care of it. His timetable ain't our timetable. So
Yeah, that's
but he's
right.
always, taking care of it on time. So that's a wonderful blessing. As we get down to the last 10 minutes, that the wife has held me hostage on this marriage counseling.
Yes, yes,
We're
yes,
gonna
I
move
did.
forward.
Yes, and yes, I am spoiled. He do spoil me. And it's only because of the grace of God's love that we allow to abound in us, that we can show the love for each other, that we choose to do the right thing, that we choose to go the right way. This is a choice that you have to make. Um, Say when you as a mate exercise your headship in a loving way, it stimulates your readiness to be subject to each other. So it's your actions and how you act towards each other is what's going to stimulate us being subjected to you and him being subjected to you also. So it works both ways, y'all. It's not just a one-way story at all. It works both ways. We all have our part. We all have our role. So if you at home and you sad and you don't understand why you trying to get to this man and you can't get to him, start praying, girl, or go read your Bible or go in the closet and just keep reading. I promise you, God will change it. Or if it don't change, He's gonna show you. Or it's gonna be both ways, the man or the female. That's why you keep hearing me saying male or female, because it works both ways. It's not just one. um just know that God loves y'all more than anything, and it was him who kept us together. He was our third core. Just remember that the way your actions is how you is with your marriage is how you gonna reflect throughout your marriage. Your attitudes, um anything that keeps you hindered or in bondage from your marriage, just ask God to break it and sit down together and pray together. Hold hands. We read the Bible together. We have prayed together. And guess what? Damien is still allowed to be his own man. I can't change him. Only God can. So women, quit trying to change your men because you can't. Only God can. You have to allow God to be God in his life. He's a grown man. He's God's son.
And vice versa. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Men, we don't try to change our women. I guess some men do. I don't know. But,
yeah.
Like she said, it worked both ways. I see she studied throwing it towards the OG. You know what I'm saying? Put that mirror on them, Jack. Hit that reflection. You dig what I'm saying?
It works both ways. And I mean that. Yes, I mean that.
Until we meet again, OG style.
Yes.
I may come back and visit again, like I said, and bring some friends, get my back. You know what I mean? But y'all hang in there and stay tuned, and definitely like, subscribe, and all that, and comment. Let me know. We take the negative with the good. You dig what I'm saying? We ain't gonna read the negative, but so
we know it's
you say
there.
so. How can we take it with the good? Because we don't read it. We know it's there though.
Well, I just want to thank y'all for watching tonight. Like he said, like, share, pass it on. This is Let's Be Real Generation to Generation. It takes a nation to reach the next generation. Don't forget to hit the website, We're doing a 90-day challenge of taking off layers of dark areas. This is going to help y'all in y'all relationship. It's going to help you identify you. We renewing your mind. You changing your mindset. There is a 90-day challenge kit. It's only $15.99. You comes with your master workbook. And that master workbook has your instructions and your assignments. It has affirmations and it has prayers to get you through. And then on Saturdays, we'll be doing unity, coming together on Clubhouse, speaking about everything that we've been through for the week with the assignments that's been given. So hit that link, go to the 90-day challenge area, and we need to do this as a unit. It's just you removing anxiety, removing depression, any anger. It's like heredity traits, our generational curses, our trends. Why we keep going in the same circles? Well, that's what the 90-day challenge is for, is to break all that off of us together in unity. Hit that link. It'll say 90-day challenge kit. Go to booking. And once you hit that link and you do the $15.99, you're going to get 3 emails that's going to give you your ebook, your workbook, and your 90-day challenge content. I thank y'all so tonight for being a part of Let's Be Real Generation. The generation, remember, is Father's Day week. Take care of our fathers because they sure do take care of us. But most of all, don't forget your Holy Father because he sure do take care of us. I love you, but God loves you more. This is Let's Be Real, generation to generation. Peace. Yeah. Get this off.